1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Tanishka Madabella and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The President says new economic reforms are vital for the country's economic recovery. Provision of a morning meal for students of grades 1 to 5 will be started tomorrow. Immediate investigation ordered into former President Maithripala's claims on Easter Sunday attacks masterminds. Central bank officials agree to consider a revision to their increased salaries. Rural Road Development Project will also was launched in Polonnaruwa today to mark President Ranil Wickremesinghe's birthday. 57th New Rice Festival will be held at the Anuradhapura Sri Jama Bodhi premises on the 6th of next month. In world news, Putin says and all 4 suspects arrested after 133 killed at concert hall. In sports news, Austrian midfielder Baumgartner recorded the fastest ever international goal. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized the necessity of a new economic reform program for the country's economic recovery. He urges collective support from all citizens to prevent the next generation from inheriting the hardships of past economic crises. The President reminisced about inheriting a country others were elected to lead, highlighting that while some focused on their political aspirations, his concerns were committed towards the welfare of the nation's future. Ranil Wickremesinghe made the remarks while participating in a friendly discussion organized by the United Youth Union of the theme Future of Our Youth. The event took place yesterday at Polonnaruwa during the conversation with the President meeting. Ranil Wickremesinghe engaged in discussions with the youth, focusing on the future and vision of the country. The President addressed various issues raised by the youth and provided solutions during the session. During the event, President Ranil Wickremesinghe asserted that the populace would reap the rewards of the government's ongoing economic reform endeavors within a few years. He stressed the importance of the nation's youth determining the trajectory towards a brighter future for both themselves and the country. According to the Ministry of Education, provision of a morning meal for students of grades 1 to 5 will be started tomorrow. Mr. Premajan said the meal high in nutrition and of health value will be provided to them on the instructions of nutritionists. This program will be implemented covering all primary section students in the schools having less than 100 students island-wide. Accordingly, 1.6 million of students are expected to be fully benefited under this scheme. An amount of 110 million rupees have been allocated per student. The World Food Programme and the Agriculture Department of the United States of America, along with a number of other organizations, are assisting in the program. Food will be received from local suppliers and strengthening the production economy of the country and directed and generations of indirect employment. Inaugural function of our program will be held under the patronage of the President Ranil Wickremesinghe at Sujata Balika Vidyalaya in Narayanpeta tomorrow. Minister of Public Security Hiran Alas has ordered the IGP Deshabanda Tennakoon to conduct an immediate investigation into the recent statement made by former President Maithripala Sirisena on the Easter Sunday bomb attacks. Former President Maithripala Sirisena claimed that he has knowledge of the true mastermind of the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks and that he was prepared to disclose information to the judiciary if inquired from him or issued an order regarding the matter. Commenting at the meeting, Sirisena highlighted that he is ready to disclose relevant information and at the same time his responsibility of judges to keep the information strictly confidential. Meanwhile, the Samak Janabalvegia parliamentarian and Karvind Jayawardene lodged a complaint with the Central Criminal Investigation Department yesterday, seeking an expeditious investigation into the former president's controversial remarks. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka announced yesterday that it would immediately review its recent 70% salary hike granted to all employees in view of the concerns expressed by a cross-section of society and the public discourse as created. In a news conference issued yesterday, Central Bank stated that the recent salary revision of 2024-2026, effected following collective agreement between the government board and the employer representatives, created such discourse among the public. The release stated that in response to this situation, the majority of senior management professionals of CBSL made a collective decision to consider a revision to their salaries. Rural Road Development Authority also was inaugurally launched in Puranara today to mark Pranab Wickramasinghe's birthday. This was held this morning with the participation of Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena. It was inaugurated at 6 a.m. today in front of the historical Galvihara Puranara with the Kiribindu Puja. The project will be launched with 10 billion rupees allocated by the President Wickramasinghe in budget 2024 to reconstruct the dilapidated rural roads across the country. State Minister of Rural Development, Sivanatha Chandrakanthan, and State Minister of Highways, Siripala Gamla, to inaugurate work to renovate rural roads in the Puranarwa district. Prime Minister Gunawardena will pay an official visit to China from tomorrow to the 30th of March at the invitation of the Chinese President Li Qiang. This was announced by Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Ling Jian during a regular press conference on Friday. During his visit, PM Gunawardena is scheduled to meet the Chinese President Xi Jinping, former Li Qiang, Premier Li Qiang, and the chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Zhao Leji. The two sides will exchange in-depth views on carrying forward traditional friendship, depending on political and mutual trust, expanding practical cooperation, and international and regional issues of common interest, Lin told reporters in Beijing. Catholics and Christians world over venerate Palm Sunday today. On Palm Sunday, the Catholic devotees enter into the Holy Week, the main event of Lent. Holy Week includes Holy Thursday and Good Friday. During this day, servants meditate on the Jesus' worries and death. Lent is a 40-day season according to the Catholic Church's calendar. It started with Ash Wednesday. Next Sunday is Resurrection Day. It is the belief of Catholics and Christians that Jesus Christ came to the world to save mankind from its sins. That was local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda.
The 57th New Rice Festival will be held at the Anuradhapura Sri Judge Sri Mahabodhi premises on the 6th of next month on the patronage of President Wickramasinghe. This festival is being organized by the Agrarian Development Board to offer the last year's benefit first harvest of Yala season to Judge Sri Mahabodhi. Collection of the rice dedicated to Sri Mahabodhi will be carried out till tomorrow at the Agrarian Development Centres island-wide. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Veda.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Navy offer valuable gifts and gift vouchers, 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Our correspondent says that the area around Tisavaba in Anuradhapura has been highly littered with garbage. The reason behind this is that many devotees who visit the area dump garbage around this Tisavaba after resting and having their meals in the premises. When the people are habituated to leave their polythene and other waste in the area, this was the attention of the Municipal Commissioner of Anuradhapura. That came to you in Watchlight.
CIB Navy offer valuable gifts and gift vouchers, 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Coming up, World News.
Putin says all 4 suspects arrested after 103 killed in concert hall. At least 90 reported killed as Israeli forces fire on Gaza aid seekers. Biden signs $1.2 trillion funding package averting U.S. government shutdown. Russian President Vladimir Putin says all 4 gunmen who carried out deadly attack at a packed concert venue in Moscow have been arrested. At least 133 people were killed and more than 140 injured when the attackers stormed the building, firing indiscriminately and setting it alight. Authorities say 11 people were detained in total and 4 gunmen were caught while heading to Ukraine. Islamic State group says it was behind the attack. Amak, the US IS channel on Telegram yesterday posted an image of the 4 masked men they claimed were involved in the assault. Russia has not commented on the IS claim. The group later released highly graphic footage from the attack. At least 19 Palestinians have been killed in an Israeli attack targeting civilians who were waiting for aid southeast of Gaza City, Gaza's Ministry of Health and its media office said. Gaza's media office said in a statement yesterday the Israeli occupation commits a massacre, killing 19 and injuring 23 civilians while thousands of citizens were waiting for flour and aid near Al-Kuwait roundabout. It said the Israeli army and tanks opened fire with machine guns towards hungry people who were waiting for bags of flour and aid in place, far from opposing any danger to the occupation. Mohammed Basal, a spokesman for the Civil Defense Department Gaza, said there had been heavy shooting at civilians and victims had been transported to a nearby Ali Arab hospital. But with Gaza's healthcare system at near collapse, many have treated outside in the open air. President Joe Biden has signed a $1.2 trillion package of spending bills. The United States Congress passed the long overdue legislation just hours earlier, ending the threat of a partial government shutdown. Biden said in a statement on Saturday that the bipartisan funding will be just signed keeps the government open, invests in the African American people, and strengthens our economy and national security. The White House said Biden's tightened the legislation at his home in Washington, Delaware. It said that sustained by 74-24 vote shortly after funding had expired for 3/4 of the government at midnight. But the White House sent out a notice shortly after the deadline announcing that the Office of Management and Budget had ceased the shutdown preparations because there was high degree of confidence that the Congress would pass the legislation and the President would sign it on Saturday. Back to the headlines of the world news. Putin says all 4 suspects arrested after 133 killed at concert hall. At least 19 reported killed as Israeli forces fire on Gaza aid seekers. Biden signs $1.2 trillion funding package averting a U.S. government shutdown. That was world news.
Development news.
SLT Mobitel has partnered with Blue Star Realties Private Limited, the luxury residential development arms of Access Engineering, to provide ultra-fast connectivity and unmatched stability for its upcoming project, Capital Heights in Rajagiriya. SLT Mobitel Fibre at Capital Heights will provide residents with high-performance, cutting-edge fibre connectivity. SLT Mobitel will deliver next-gen living experience by leveraging fibre optic technology to meet the realities of modern connectedness, enabling residents to enjoy digital lifestyle. That was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Today, the third day of the first test between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has pushed Bangladesh further back in this match in sight. Day 2 saw Bangladesh players being folded up for 188 while responding to Sri Lanka's first innings score of 280. Batting for their second innings, Sri Lanka scored 183 runs for the loss of 6 wickets at the end of 80 overs. A short while ago, Sri Lanka is having an overall lead of 375 runs at present. Christoph Baumgartner scored after 6 seconds record, the fastest ever goal in international football as Austria beat Slovakia in Bratislava. 24-year-old midfielder skipped past 3 challengers from kickoff and fired a low shot past the home goalkeeper. His effort was second quicker than Lukas Podolski's strike for Germany against Ecuador in 2013. A British runner has made history by becoming the first woman to finish one of the world's hardest ultramarathons. Yasmin Paris from Miltonia completed the Barkley Marathon in Tennessee with just 1 minute 39 seconds to spare of the 60-hour cutoff. Thousands of supporters watched the race on social media as she made her nail-biting finish on Friday. She was so exhausted she slumped to the ground after finishing the race, which is inspired by famous prison escape. The course at Frozen Head State Park changes every year but covers 100 miles involving 6,000 feet of climb and descent, about twice the height of Mount Everest. That was sports news.
Go ekakiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The 35th Lux Sarasavia Film Award is poised to celebrate country's cinematic excellences on March 28 at the Bandanaketa Memorial International Conference Hall, Colombo. Award ceremony starts at 6:30 p.m. Unilever Lux proudly stands the festival's main sponsor, reaffirming its commitment to nurturing the growth and prosperity of the Sri Lankan film fraternity. Commercial Bank is the banking partner. Transport, Highways and Mass Media Minister Dr. Madhu Gulwadana will be the guest of honor. A total of 37 covered awards will be presented by two films released during the years 2019 and 2020, spanning a diverse array of categories including direction, acting, cinematography, playback singing and music composition.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news, Pradhan Singer underscored a concerning trend in the healthcare sector of Sri Lanka. Significant immigration rate among trained medical professionals. He noted that approximately 30 to 40 out of every 100 doctors or nurses trained in the country opt to leave, a circumstance deemed unfavorable for the nation. The President stressed that it is incumbent upon all individuals to enhance healthcare services within the nation, which boasts some of the world's highest standards in medical care, and to actively contribute to the country's economic prosperity. That was economic news. Weather report. Met Department forecast that several spells of showers will occur in the eastern Nuwa provinces. Showers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central and northwestern provinces during the afternoon or night. Heavy showers of about 7 millimeters likely at some places in Ratapura, Kalathara, Gaul and Matara districts. Misty conditions can be expected some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa and Nuwa provinces and in Gaul and Matara districts during the morning tomorrow. And back to the headlines of the news. The President says new economic reforms are vital for the country's economic recovery. Provision of a morning meal for students of grades 1 to 5 will be started tomorrow. Immediate investigation ordered into former President Maitapata's claims on Easter Sunday attacks masterminds. Central Bank officials agreed to consider a revision to their increased salaries. Rural Road Development project was also inaugurated in Pulanara today to mark Renal Singh's birthday. 57th New Rice Festival will be held at Anandapura Jayasri Mahabodhi premises on the 6th of next month. In world news, Putin says all 4 suspects are arrested after 130 killed at concert hall. In sports news, Austrian midfielder Baumgartner recorded the fastest ever international goal. With that, we end the afternoon's news broadcast at Radio Sri Lanka, and until 2 p.m, let's enjoy music with lunch.